So the truth of the matter is, I don't actually need my corrective eyewear. I don't need glasses for what I'm doing right now. This morning, there was an indicator that says 8 hours ago. Right now, it's 20 minutes after 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So this would be maybe around dawn today. There was a posting. It says local sources in Logar province say Taliban fighters set up a checkpoint on the Kabul Logar highway to abduct Zora Jalal, a member of the Coast Provincial Council, with her two bodyguards before noon today. Then it has a picture of what appears to be her passport card and a picture of her. And then it looks like an official government document. Now, there's a picture of some vehicle. Looks like it was probably the vehicle she was in at the time she was abducted with her two bodyguards. And so the vehicle and the document were left, but she and the bodyguards were taken. All right. Now, I understand some things about this, and I understand that usually when things like this happens, there's a very significant local correlation here in Texas, right? And first, I just want to say formally, I have not heard of Miss Jalal before. I'm not familiar with her work. Secondly, if you intend to kill her for whatever reason, please do it swiftly and please do it without too much pain. Just so you know, I'm hoping that you will at least be merciful enough to kill her quickly and without great brutality if your intent is to at some point kill her. And I would just recommend you do it within the next 24 hours because things change very substantially in terms of the kind of timeshare arrangement you're on and in conjunction with local factors. Here, why? July 14th, 2021 will be 3 days before July 17th of 2021. And if you're looking to get any sort of payout on a concurrent arrangement with the Army Futures Command's presentation before the Senate in 2019, you're going to need some time for that transaction to clear. Which means that if by the end of the day on July 14th, 2021 in Afghanistan, you haven't already killed her, you're not going to be able to clear. I'm sorry. You got in this situation, there has been a notice, there has been an indication. Now, if there is some other sort of matter at work here, then perhaps there is some need for negotiation and or perhaps there is some need for an alternative understanding of what's going on and the direct communication with her was not provided in another manner. So hopefully moving forward, there will be a greater facilitation of a material means by which to do that officially without this kind of risk. Because I'm doing locally everything I can to assure that any complications with what you actually need are not being sabotaged by local operators attempting to try to compel you to do something against your best interest. Please understand that in contract relations, when there is a dominant party that is expressly attempting to coerce you into accepting performance that is against your best interest, that can render the contract null and void. So the question is, what interest is this particular action serving you right now? Now, the publicly accessible information about Miss Jalal does not say anything about her too recently. It's going back to 2016 and more than 5 years ago. That means you're expecting or expected to make a performance in consideration of some sort of conversion. And considering that the reference points are January of 2016, you've still got a couple of days before that conversion comes due. I don't think you're going to be satisfied with the results at this point because the specific point of reference in order to facilitate certain kinds of conversions that you might have already been apprised you would be the recipients of have unfortunately been rendered inaccessible if that is the actual understanding that you have, that I have. And what it is saying about her in the reference points are specifically that she had a video conference call with the president or was a participant in a video conference call with the president held with the coast governor and other public figures in early 2015. this would seem to be a very, very significant and monumental transactional event. Now, with matters that are ongoing at this time, there are any number of interests that would perhaps not be in your best interest to have international meddling interfere with. But there is a direct correlation between my best interest in this moment and the best interest of assuring that Miss Jalal is reflected and represented in an accurate manner at this point in time. It would seem that she's being used as a lien to acquire something from someone else. And the situation here is that you may have been provided with a false understanding of exactly who it was that had what it was you were looking for. And they're no longer able to access it for themselves, which means you would have to negotiate directly with me. Or you're not, again, going to get whatever it was that you anticipated you were due. Now, this happens all the time, unfortunately. And this might be a manner or a matter in which we have a mutual interest in acknowledging each other in this regard. So I'm acknowledging myself. I understand these are the reference points, and this is what's being sought. On the other hand, I have an interest that you have now apprised me of. So I'm going to shut off this particular message here, the introduction. You can call me Miss Kraus. And then I'm going to provide another video that will be a follow-up to this here.